Okay, very important crop formation from last year. That doubles, that was in Italy, which is built into the key structure grid in Upper England, having to do with the building of the temple last year. This year, it couples up with the formation we're going to use, the Super Merkaba, the Platinum Ray Merkaba format, or the Ashara L, it's technically called. This is coupled with that, and the two of them project across Italy into the pyramid, the Ra Star pyramid, in a golden ratio field. And that's then the manifesting link up using this also. So we used this as part of our late body add-ons last year. It's called Johnny's doily. She tried it on and it fit.
Well, one time during process, that's what happened. It floated in and then it flopped itself over my head and I was peeking out through it. It was like a doily went over my head, so that's
We've
what I
also
called it.
felt it as a jellyfish.
Say again?
We've also felt that pattern as a jellyfish.
Where you at?
Well, when she was saying her jellyfish, I went straight to that.
Where you at? While we're showing this thing, that was the first formation of 2010 when the temple started generating, and Carol had come up with that about 2 days prior to that. And that's the system that builds the bands on down, and specifically the suns here are those suns in this band here through the eyes. That's what we want to talk about here. Okay, let's go on up a little bit. Good. This is a limnoscape when we give it a twist. Has a sacred gap in it, and it looks like that. And we have the 28 spheres in that. And that combines with this, you can see it faintly in the background, to give us two bands, one with 18 spheres and the other with 28. And that was a pattern that was duplicated many times in the formations in last year. And that is the pattern that we have in our own head. Now the 18 and 28, simply put, sorts out stellar inputs. There are so many and they're so complex that they need a weaving, a sorting out, and adjusting to the wearer, as we might say. Okay, let's, well, in this formation, never mind that. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, that's going to be your big one. Is that what you want now?
No, I want the doily one.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Should be the
Is that one this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
You want it?
Can you blow it? Yeah, blow it up.
Oh, I can try.
Good. Okay, that's Jandy's doily. Now, the circles here with the solar rings are right through the eyes here, that band. So that formation, when you wear it, produces that band, and then further codes it with all the rest of the formation. There's some indication that this very narrow vesica is the vesica used by the time walkers, or the five Ra'im, which are, they're not just time walkers. That sounds sort of dull, but they're actually working in 40 worlds, 20 cycles, and they work across time, so they get pretty responsible jobs, including our project. Okay, so anyway, that's what, there are other crowns and bells and whistles, a couple serpents here, 2 of them, and I don't want to go into any more of that, too much time, but that gives you a feel anyway. 3 bands, the axiotonal, the solar, and the pay or the mouth system. Okay, next one.
The next one is the big one,
Okay.
or something you added at the end. You ready for the big one? For the one we're doing today? Is that what you want?
Yeah, let's introduce that now.
Alrighty.
Just introduction, and then a break.
Do you want the one you started with and then go to the one you're going to
Let's use this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is what the formation looks like in Italy. That's the one that combines with that doily. It looks sort of simple, but it isn't. Okay, this fellow, Red Fox, or whatever his name is, did a really good job of sorting out these as the 4 inner planets, Earth and Venus, and then the other 2.
You want to see that in there? Just
Yeah, go
makes
ahead.
sense.
And then he, and then he also identified this correctly as Orion. He interpreted these as 2 planets, and I changed that. The formations this year are supporting the Sha'Alura with 2 stars involved. So these are obviously that, and they are creating a field that's including the Orion or the Umaga complex. And then they are, with that field, feeding it in to this lower system. We're going to be doing that this afternoon. All right, these prongs have 5 holes in each one of them, except this one up here has a 6th one. That 6th one is what is the gateway or the entry point of this field into whatever's going on here. So, what is going on there? Oh, by the way, when we connect Earth and Venus, we get an L gate, which is important. Okay, so let's look at this over here. These are tilted, each one, couplet, on an angle of 14 degrees from the main axis. So we've discussed that 14 degrees. It's installed here. And that is the wide Celascope that spins. It's a lot more encompassing, efficient than the narrow. And then also, when we spin these things here, this triangle creates a cone. And across the face of it, we get a teledisc. So whatever that cone is picking up, then that codes on that teledisc.
That's what the spinal column looked like yesterday.
Yeah, that's the idea. Spinal column. The human is located in here. This yellow flame is called the sotrotman in the east, with the thread self, which is actually a pillar of fire or tube, and there's no, it doesn't have a measurement. It can reach from here to Orion, and has. Okay, so anyway, there are 4 of these pointing up, 4 of them pointing down, and then the 5th one for each one is here in the center. So that's just an orientation, and we'll talk about that more in the afternoon. We may have some additional time, because that's the thing we're going to be doing from now on. Well, before we get rid of it. This is a combination that is found in what's called the platinum ray. The platinum ray can access what is called the harem membrane. The harem membrane is the thing that separates the God state, divine state, Satchitananda, or the life, mind, joy, and love, and that's non-polarized. It separates that from the polarized, individualized universe for it. So when all the high souls of the sons, the avatars, and who's it, decides that they've had enough of being an individual, they zero eyes and go on into the mind of God. Well, when they give up that self, particularly if you're a star or a couple billion stars, that creates a huge energy bang, and that bang is constant because all the universes, over 350 or so, are streaming constantly into that and through that membrane with the energy released, and then the wisdom, huge amount of wisdom of all the universes, are then inserted in the mind of God, God in quotes. So that mind decides to come up with something and shoots it out through the membrane back into the working universe. And that is the harem membrane. And the streaming used to be up to a year ago, when things changed or started to change. That streaming of the huge amount of wisdom for all the universes, new flame geometries, projects, plans, whatever, that used to be sorted out by all the hierarchies of the 3 realms. And then he sorted out and sent it over here to Andromeda, or over there to the universe 43, whatever. And that stores in the Akashic record. Well, now we're eliminating the hierarchies from that filter effect, the interface, and the new humans are becoming that. We are going to read that streaming ourselves, or by group or individuals. Now that's a big deal to substitute for the ascended masters and highest of angels. But that seems to be the plan. So hence the need for this superhuman. And we understand that this new human is the project of this 20th cycle thing. So here we are. We are well into that, into the foundation of that, deeply into it. And we are effectively the ORA people, and we are effectively setting up models, linkages, circuit boards, and the rest of it, and testing it as co-creators in this project to see how it works. And that's the 20th cycle. If there's any glitches in that, we go back through time and ahead through time to peek and tweak the glitches, get it all smoothed out again. And then after the 20th cycle, eliminate all that and get on with it in our real universe and the other universes. So that's sort of the overall bottom line. And this is the thing that is, all of these individual systems can clone themselves to any number they want and they can train over Trakanova going there and Universe 22, or another exploding star, or the Democrats convention, or whatever that wants to link into, it can. And it does it with a platinum ray function. And I'll explain that function after later, sometime. So that function, the 5, and then the 6, this is the whole cocoon, or Merkaba field, is giving us the platinum ray presence and structure. The apices of these systems are these red dots here, which are not quite chakras, but it's easy to think of them as such. But they are the systems that combine our form of humanity with these people, the David type of beings, called the Sha'Alura. Break time?
Yeah.
Break time.
Short,
Short break.